Students, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at the malaguena, the long version. We're going to start with some notes on the 6th string. It really helps to remember that we're in 3/4 time. It can get a little tough to feel that, especially in this first part. Really the song breaks down into 3 different sections. There's sort of this intro section, before we kind of get into the meat of it, and then there's the A section, the very recognizable. And then we have this very lovely sort of B section. And then we go back to the A section to finish it off. So I just want to make sure that we're using sort of the same vocabulary here. So let's start off with this intro section. So we're going to start with the 6th string open. E, F, G, 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 F, E. All on that 6th string. And I'm going to show you what I mean about that 3/4 feel. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now we get to the fun part. E major chord. It's going to be your first finger on the 3rd string, 1st fret, 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and your 2nd finger on the 2nd finger, 2nd fret, 5th string. And this is going to give us this E major chord. I'm going to play this and you're going to be like, ooh, that sounds very Spanishy. Right? All right. You can use your thumb and you can just do a normal strum. But if you want a little bit of a challenge, you can do what's called a rasgueado. Again, this is a Spanish guitar flamenco technique. What you do is you're just letting your fingers out one by one. So it'd be, and you don't worry about your pinky just because it's a different length than the other one, so don't worry about this guy. But we are going to go ring, middle, index. And that gives it sort of that delayed da-da-da. It might take a little bit of practice, and again, if it's just frustrating you, a strum with your thumb will do. All right, so I like to sort of play the first couple of notes sort of quietly, and then once we get into that chord, it's like a statement. It's like, we're here now. So we go... twice through. Since we're playing the same thing 2 different times, you can play the first one a little bit louder and the second one a little bit softer. That gives you like a nice contrast between the 2. Now we go over to the 5th string. This is sort of a call and response feel where we do this. And then the A kind of answers that. So let's take a look at that. We start with the open 5th string, then we go to the 2nd fret, 3rd fret for C, 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 B on the 2nd fret, A, it's dotted half notes, so we're 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to play an A minor chord. It actually looks almost exactly the same as your E major, but with everything moved up a string. So now my first finger is on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, 3rd finger, 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and my 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Rasgueado that one. You just got to make sure you don't hit the 6th string. That might take a little bit of practice. Again, if you really wanted to, you could do a thumb stroke. And then we're back to 2, 3. And then this rasgueado brings us into this little... It's not even its own section. It's like these 2 measures that sort of bridge the gap from that intro into this A section. So 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then on that 3rd one, it doesn't have a fermata, meaning you let the note ring out longer than is intended, but it's got a fermata feel. So you can really go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And now we're into the... So that's going to be a note, it's going to be a bass note going back and forth between an open E. So the best way to do it is just to figure out what those bass notes are first, and then start adding in those E's. Make sure you're playing every single bass note with thumb. So E is the 4th fret, or the 2nd fret on the 4th string, to a G sharp, 1st fret, 3rd string, B. So it's E, G sharp, B, E, G sharp, B, A on the 2nd fret, A, C on the 1st fret, B, A, open G, F, and then we're back to this E, G sharp, B, E, G sharp, B, A, C, B, A, G, F. And then here we're going to go E, G sharp, E, and then you're going to slide that up a fret to do F, A, F, and then back down E, G sharp, E, excuse me, E, E, E. So it's E, G sharp, E, F, A, F, E, G, E, E, E. And then you're just going to strum from the 4th string down with that E, G sharp, open B, open E. So again, those bass notes starting on the 4th line of the 1st page, that's the beginning of the A section. E, G sharp, B, E, G sharp, B, A, C, B, A, G, F, E, G sharp, B, E, G sharp, B, A, C, B, A, G, F, E, G sharp, E, F, A, F, E, E, E. And strum the chord from there. Now we can start adding in the E's in between. You can use your index finger for these E's. I prefer my middle finger. I just think it's a little easier to do it, but either one works. If you really wanted to, I guess you could use your ring finger too. I'm not sure how comfortable that would be, but, you know, to each their own. I'm going to use my middle finger again, as long as you're just going back and forth between thumb and one of these fingers. Don't use pinky. So this is how it would sound when you start adding in those E's. Alright, here we're actually just going to go ahead and ignore the low notes. We're just going to look at those top notes. So you see there's a whole bunch of notes stacked on top of each other. Don't worry about them. Just play E, 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 D, C, D, D, C, B, 2, 3. D, 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 C, B, C, C, B, A. I go to that E on the 4th string, E, G sharp, A, B, 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 C, B, A, 2, 3, E, G sharp, A, B, B, C, D, E, F, E, E, E. Now we're just back to the A section. Stand right there on E major, Raschiato, and you're done. Malaguena. Good work. Good luck practicing, and let me know if you guys have any questions.